Well, hello, welcome to a new video. For this one, I'm actually trying a more experimental style, so this will be fun to try and explain. Before anything, I gotta give credit where credit is due, and because I suck at perspective, I got a little help from this site called Sketchfab. This one is actually a 3D model which you can pose around of an altar made by Dion Sandwich. I hope I'm saying right. So if you would like to try out to use this model as reference, I will leave a link down below. I'm really glad that these things exist, otherwise the art would be way too complicated. Anyways, so for the art itself, I changed the drawing a little bit because I didn't want to straight out copy the 3D model, and instead of a crystal, I placed the genie's lamp in the middle. I guess I haven't shown the character, so I'll pop it up on the screen. It's a really cool one. I've never seen anything like it. Anyways, the whole idea was to be a really dark cave with the lamp in the middle as the main focal point, and us at the end of the stairs looking at it like, oh shit, what have I done, you know? Yeah, so unlike my other videos, this one I just tried to actually go for it. I am usually super shy with colors, so this time I tried to go with a plan, actually. I know it doesn't look planned at all, but in this one I really wanted to try and focus on the colors. So if you see on the top left corner there are 4 colors. I used a double complementary kind of scheme. So purple and blue because it was the main character's colors, and then the red and the green because it was the colors opposed to that one. So I basically took the palette from the character and then tried to invert it. For this drawing in particular, I was super inspired by Aladdin, or overall Disney vibes in general. And so I used the green as the main source of light. I mean, I don't know if you can call it main, because there's 2 colors sharing it, but you get what I'm saying. The main source of light coming from our point of view, and then the blue lamp, because the character is, well, purple and blue, coming from the lamp on the other side of the painting. I actually really like this, and the final result really gave the Disney vibe, so I'm really happy with it. So once all the colors were, you know, sort of in place and I had the proper scheme, I started fleshing out everything. It's not going to be perfect. I mainly wanted to try to have fun and, you know, don't obsess over something that is not the focal point of the painting. So yeah, as you can see, it's not perfect, but that's okay. I actually really like how it turned out. I started by fleshing out the walls and the stairs because they were the things that were closer to our point of view. I didn't bother too much with the background or the pillars or anything. I just tried to make the shapes understandable. And I did spend a little more time on the lamp and the coins themselves because, well, you know, that's sort of the focal point of the painting, or at least I think it is, to be honest. Focal points aren't my my strength yet, at least yet. I then spent most of my time trying to draw the face of the dragon because that would be somewhere the eyes would be a lot, especially with the irises being so white, you know, it would ask for a lot of attention. And again, the proportions weren't quite right, so the eyes weren't on the same line, so I had to fix that. It's a common mistake, but that's okay. And then trying to shade all of the face and everything. I don't know a lot about dragon anatomy, but because it is a fantasy creature after all, I tried to know what I already knew with horses and all and try to implement it. I do like how it turned out. So I think it's best in that regard, but if I ever draw another dragon, I'll try to look at the anatomy a bit more. This one was a lot of fun to try and experiment with the scales and also the reflectiveness of each material, right? So the jewels she was wearing would be a lot more reflective than the scales or the feathers, I think, at least. So I usually make everything way too reflective, so trying to make something a little bit more opaque was, well, it was pretty cool. I then sort of toned down the detail on the dragon as it went to the background and back, right? So the body is sort of going into the background, curling around the pillar, and then coming back so it can float out of the lamp. And, you know, because that side of the frame, so the right side of the frame, wouldn't be as important, I didn't spend as much time. It was pretty refreshing, not gonna lie. Usually I tend to just really zoom in, and in this painting I try to keep it out, so it was actually pretty helpful. As a final little detail, I added the clothing, which isn't my strong at all. They weren't exactly simple, they were sort of transparent, so I tried to erase some parts of it so it could show, but you know, I don't really like the texture, but that's okay. It was a really final addition, and we're just gonna let it slide. Again, this is a really experimental painting, and I didn't want to beat myself over something. Maybe the next time I'll be able to draw them, I don't know, in a better way, I guess, or at least feel more accomplished. And yeah, that was pretty much it. I just changed a few values here and there, and it was done. Not gonna lie, this sort of painting was actually pretty nice. It was good for once to not be so hard on myself, especially on the detail side of things. And this painting alone is a full illustration, and it only took me like 4 hours, while my other ones usually take 10+ hours. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this type of videos, and yeah, have a good one.